I know. They're criminals. They're trying to do things fast.
Literally.
Hello, welcome. We just saw Uncharted, and now we're gonna drive home. Yeah, so thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoy the ride home. We'll see if there's any incidents as we go. But for starters, yeah, we saw Uncharted, and it's another drive home review. So thanks. Can like, subscribe, and all that good stuff if you want to see more
Like this?
reviews and things like this and other things. So just let us know. But for starters, what'd we all think?
I expected it to be worse, and it was better than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed fun. Whereas
It was fun. I'll grant it that.
Yeah,
it was entertaining, which is one of our family's terms.
Yes.
That it wasn't bad, but it wasn't fantastic. But it was entertaining.
Yes, it was. And do mind the shaky cam. We kind of messed up and didn't bring the right support, so it's a little shakier than this. But I don't know. I know she's going to make a face. I mean, it was fun, but for Uncharted, I thought it was meh.
For the game, you know what I mean, as a reference to the game.
Yeah, and it's like the game is over the top at times. I mean, how many escape scenes and chase scenes?
I mean, honestly, yeah.
And you know, when everything at the end of the games, I mean, wherever they go, it basically collapses and falls apart, and it's this huge elaborate thing. So I get it. The game has got a lot of that.
I think the movie did a pretty decent job of portraying it. Like I said, I thought the boat scene was a little
over the top.
The end.
Scene.
Yeah, the end sequence.
Which
that was
I didn't really care for.
That was really ridiculous, I have to say. That was tough to swallow. I mean, even by Uncharted standards in Hollywood, that was just ridiculous.
I mean, honestly.
So much.
Well, to me, it wasn't even just that. It was more like the logistics. Like, as soon as they're like, all right, they started like trying to dig them out. I'm like, did they really think this thing is going to be seaworthy? And then when you're like, oh no, they're going above the trees. Don't you remember the trailer? And then I'm like, but they only have like 2 or 3 ropes holding these old ancient wooden ships.
Yeah.
That are like, haven't really been dealt with. And I mean, for all we know, they could have been termite ridden or bug ridden. I mean, they already looked like they were kind of falling apart as it was.
The game, they wouldn't calculate.
It would have been the same if it was the game. But
yes.
But I mean,
know,
it's
yeah,
just, I'm like sitting there, I'm like, it's not even like close to being real, and it just kills me. It's like, oh yeah, let's just, you know, take them and fly them somewhere without like really the proper support and excavation and stuff. And I understand that the people that were ended up doing it were very greedy, so they didn't care as much. But I mean, she even said, don't put any holes in my boat. They're valuable. And they didn't take any care or any precautions to really preserve them.
No, but that's again, it's a little bit what happens in the games as well.
I know. They're criminals. They're trying to do things fast.
Literally.
Yeah, but
I know.
but still, that was a bit much.
No,
although
I get it, but like some of the things that she just mentioned, like even in the movie or not in the game, it would have had a similar
And I'm sure
idea.
it would have been. I'm not even, but I don't watch or play the games either, so I'm just looking at from an outsider's point of view.
Yeah. No, I get it. And I mean, I felt like in general the movie just don't
Sorry.
get hit. Squirrel. But I felt that it kind of did what I wish it didn't do, and it just kind of just went from A to B to C to D right through, and it moved so quick. I mean, you didn't get really any time to settle with the characters of any sort. You know, it's like they tried to play up a little bit of history with Drake and his brother, and
yeah, at least they gave you some of that. But I mean, it
didn't let it sit with any of it. It just moved, and
even in the game, you had a few more flashbacks with the brother.
Well, we never finished 4.
No, but even in the beginning, they had 1 or 2 other flashbacks. I think with the brother.
There was there's things with 4, but. I mean, did you just take the games? They've got the interludes in between the missions and the big chapters and such, to where you get a bit more character and development and such. And it really wasn't there. And it's like by the end of it, you know, in the games, you get that feeling that Sully is a father figure to Drake, and in this, Sully feels like the brother he'd lost. Like he felt like dude
they
bro.
changed like the
dynamic wasn't
of the
there,
relationship.
and
Yeah.
I felt as if everyone else was having the one-liners and the quips, and Nate was just there. He wasn't.
The only thing he really kept saying that was probably one of his character traits was the "oh crap."
It was the oh crap, and I know it was
other
the
characteristics
start.
that
There was
Drake
some
had.
because he was clumsy at times and he kind of
Yeah.
flopped around. Although a couple,
one of the
as
two,
it
one
kept
or
getting
two
on,
of them, it was like, it's a little
as it
dramatic.
kind of as it
Yeah, a
movie
little
went on, they were getting a little bit more exorbitant and annoying at times. But some of them were funny. The when he fell in the fountain, that was funny.
Yes, because honestly,
That was probably the best one that I felt like was a Drake fall, or you know, but yeah, I just didn't get that dynamic between. And I had a feeling. I knew it wasn't. I definitely felt from the trailers that it wasn't going to happen.
What?
They were just trading quips the whole movie, Sully and Drake, and then sorry that Chloe was meh. As compared, you can't compare to Claudia Black as the voice, but
Yeah.
and I just didn't feel like she really looked like Chloe of any sort. Not that any of them really looked much like their game counterpart, I'd say, but they were just all so. I don't know. I just felt like the whole movie was miscast, and I know that was been a common thing from the moment that this was cast, is that everyone was saying it was, and I did feel it. It's like, you know, Holland. He did all right in the role, but there was just still a lot of just, you know, Tom Holland making the Tom Holland face throughout the movie and such. But again, there also wasn't any real meat to the role that he could grow and make his own or enhance. Like, you know, that was one of the things we said with Spider-Man No Way Home, is there were certain bits in that where you actually got Tom Holland to, you know, really start acting, and he was selling the role. But in this, it wasn't there, and, you know, again, Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, I just felt like, again, he's doing the same shtick he always does, which is, you know, just the quips and the lines and all that normal stuff. I just didn't feel like the actors were the right people for the roles. And poor Antonio Banderas is like, did he just get, you know, we're doing some spoilers, but maybe not full spoilers, but you know, the way his character arc went was just.
That was a little, I mean, it was surprising, but kind of like not surprising yet at the same time. It was almost disappointing. Because I mean, Antonio Banderas is such a great actor. He can really deliver, you know, this whole hard-ass kind of thing. Of course, I was making quips like the whole time, like as Zorro. I'm like, yes, he needs it for his family, you know.
But I actually felt he was starting to really fall into the traditional Uncharted villain role. Which is a lot of what you tend to find in that, especially I think 1 and 2. No, not 2, 3. 1 and 3, more so 3 than anything else, and maybe that was another knock against it, is I think they were like hand-picking certain things from the games at key moments. I mean, definitely the cargo plane. I mean, that was lifted right out of 3.
Yes.
And then even the heist of the cross, that was a bit of a play off of 4 a little bit. So it just, you know, and it's a shame, because if they try to play off of the games and play off the stories, well, if you try to do Uncharted 3, well, you've done the cargo plane.
Yeah.
So how are you going to redo? You're not going to redo that scene.
I actually thought it was supposed to be like a live action of like 3 or 4. I wasn't sure which one. It's been a little while since I've seen the 2, so.
And they played. you know, and they kind of played a little loose and such. It, you know, they were doing their whole
Ooh, gato.
cat.
Something. Cat.
Oh, sorry.
No, just joking.
Just kidding. We're just kidding. But
yeah, no, I mean, I was like I said, or as you were saying before, I mean, Antonio was really starting to head into that bad guy role, and then to have it cut so short, it was like, really?
yeah.
And then I just didn't feel that the person that kind of took over was really a strong enough character for it.
Yeah, the
so
same.
it was just
Wasn't
kind of like,
nearly
it was
as
kind of
going to be
lackluster
menacing.
as that whole end sequence kind of came about. I was
Yeah.
like,
I mean, I think I understand as to why, because Antonio probably couldn't have done much of the
Those
stunt
stunts,
work
no.
that they wound up doing for the final, you know,
yeah, but he
boss
could have
battle
still
at the
been
end. But
there. He could have been in the copter, the choppers,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, they could have
He
played
could
it
have
up,
still
but-
done the vocal part of it, even if he can't, you know, the bantering, the direction, the you know, all of that, and have her still as the henchman, as she was, you know? So, I mean, it was kind of disappointing that, you know, the henchman kind of was the end battle, and it just was,
Yeah.
And since she wasn't really directed, and it wasn't really like a whole setup for an end battle, it didn't even give you a real end battle.
No,
I mean, there
it
was like
didn't.
about a couple punches here and there, and then it was over.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
And you know, on and off, I made comments throughout the movie, but I really didn't care for the music. There was like 2 spots. There's a great cameo. We each heard it differently, but we caught it. But I didn't feel like the music was all over the place. Like at times it had these guitar riffs kind of going in, and then, you know, other sounds, you know, it was trying to be local when it was in Barcelona or wherever the plane was taking off. So I just felt the music wasn't very good. And then at one point at the end, when he got the holster, you heard the theme from the game.
Oh, I didn't.
But it was so subtle and muted. Like the sound mixing was off on it. It was like that should have been like a key moment to get all the gamers like, yeah, and it just was just like,
lackluster?
oh, there it is. Oh, and that's always something that annoys me, is these games have certain things that are really iconic, and you know, one of them is the music, and at times the movies are just like, yeah, you know, maybe we'll throw it in the credits or once and then call it a day. And there's nothing with the music and the soundtrack of this. There was really nothing. It was just there.
Yeah.
It was disappointing, especially for the composer. Was it Ramen?
I don't know.
Did
John, or I don't know.
This is the dude
I
that
never-
did Game of Thrones. I don't want to butcher his name anymore, but I like his work. But this one was lackluster. So, anyways,
Yeah, because
thoughts?
did he do Westworld too?
yes, yeah, he did Westworld. And we
So
like-
yeah, we liked that one
yeah,
too.
so we like his work. Just this one, nah.
Yeah.
But as for the movie, honestly, it was still just kind of there. It was fun for me. They make a sequel. I hope they can fix it and maybe
See,
bring
I
it
would
more
want
on.
them to make a sequel only to see if they would be able to fix it and actually stick to a game.
Yeah.
If they choose to stick to a game, I think it'll be done better, because then they're not given the moments to be like the boat scene
Yeah.
or like the final scene.
Yeah. I don't remember, but I think what was happening at the end, where he mentioned Roman and the little handoff,
And
I
The
don't
map in the key in his ring.
Yeah, the thing that happened at the end, I think that plays into the first game, I think, but I'm not 100%.
You can always leave
And
a
then we know-
comment below to let
yeah.
us know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, comment below and remind me. Us.
mainly
Mainly
us
him.
two.
Mainly she and I, because we play.
do.
I play it, she watches.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't do anything with it.
She has like nothing.
So,
It's all good.
so yeah, we saw Uncharted. It was fun. But as a fan of the game, you might be a little bit disappointed. So, anyways, until the next time, thanks for
Yep.
joining us on the drive home. We'll see you in the next one.